Small Stories from Life Part 21. Here is the first story. Learn to let go. A father told his son to clench his fist and tell him how he felt. The son clenched his fist and replied, "I feel a little tired." "Try to hold it tighter and see if that makes me more tired, Dad." Now let go of his hand. The son sighed in relief and said, "I feel much more comfortable now." In any situation, the tighter you hold on to something, the more tired you will be. Learn to let go and you will feel much more comfortable. The father said kindly, "The lesson learned is that the more we hold on to something, the easier it is to lose it." Sometimes, just knowing how to let go can make us feel lighter and more comfortable. Thank you for listening.
Followed by the second story, What is Happiness? From heaven, a kind angel was sent to earth to help people. One day, the angel happened to meet a young poet who was handsome and talented. He was rich and had a beautiful wife. However, his face was always filled with sadness. Seeing that, the Zen master asked him if he was not happy. "What can I help you with? I have everything, but I am missing one thing. Can you give me?" The angel said, "Just tell me, maybe I can help you. I want to be happy." The Zen master was very surprised by the poet's wish. A moment later, the angel flew up and used magic to take away everything the poet had: his talent, appearance, property, and his beautiful wife. A month later, the angel returned, and the poet was just a hungry, thirsty, and ragged beggar. Only then did the angel use magic to return to him what had been taken away from him before. The next time I visited the angelic poet, I saw him holding his wife in his arms, his eyes filled with satisfaction and gratitude. The lesson learned is that happiness is always right in front of you. When you are hungry, having a hot bowl of noodles is happiness. When you are tired, being able to lie down and rest is happiness. When you are sad, having someone to share with is happiness. Therefore, happiness comes from the way we perceive the world around us. Only when we know how to appreciate and love what we have, can we understand what happiness is. Thank you for listening.
Followed by the third story, Accidentally Met God. One day God came down to earth and met a philosopher who was studying human life. God came before the philosopher in the form of an old man and said, "I am like you, also studying life. Can we study together?" Although he did not know who the old man in front of him was, the philosopher still agreed to talk. The philosopher said, "I am thinking about you. The more I study, the more I see that people are very special, sometimes very smart but sometimes very stupid." God nodded at this point, so I agreed that when people were young, they were in a hurry to grow up, but when they became adults, they only wished they could be children again. When they were healthy, they did not know how to cherish their health, trying to exchange it for wealth, and when they fell ill, they had to use money to buy health. They worried about the future but forgot the present. As a result, they could not live well in both the present and the future. They live as if they will never die. Then when they are near death, they feel as if they have never really lived. The philosopher realized that the reasoning of the person he was talking to was very profound, so he immediately asked a question about human life. Is it a waste of time? What do you think? For me, time is eternal. I think that people who truly understand the value of time will also understand life. The philosopher listened silently and waited for the old man to draw a conclusion about human life. Finally, God took out a rolled-up piece of paper and gave it to the philosopher. The philosopher opened it and read the words on the paper. In life, remember that we cannot please everyone. The most important thing in life is not how much wealth we have, but how we have lived and how good friends we have. Happiness is not having a lot of wealth, but having few desires. It only takes a few seconds to hurt someone, but it can take a lifetime to heal that wound. Loving a rose does not necessarily mean cutting off all its thorns. If you do not want to be hurt, do not hurt the person you love. The most precious thing that money cannot buy is happiness. Forgiving others or being forgiven by others is not enough. Sometimes we also have to forgive ourselves. The sage was moved when he finished reading and said that only God could do this, but when he raised his head, the old man had disappeared. The most important lesson for everyone's life is to love, respect and forgive yourself and others. Thank you for listening.
Followed by the fourth story, money is not everything. A poor man was lying on the grass in the sun when a rich man came up to him and said, "You are so poor because you are too lazy. Why don't you work hard like other people?" The poor man asked again, "Why do you have to work?" "You have to work to earn money," the rich man said. "Earn money to buy a house, buy a car and improve your life." "To do what?" "So that you can live happily without worrying about anything." "But aren't I living without worrying right now?" The lesson is that life is colorful and everyone has a different perception of happiness. If you only focus on earning money all your life, you will lose many other important things. Thank you for listening.
Followed by the fifth story, The Secret to Living in Harmony. The Trong and Lai families are neighbors, but the lives of the two families are completely different. The Trong family lives in harmony, happiness and joy, while the Lai family often quarrels and never has a peaceful day. One day, the Lai family could not stand it anymore, so they ran to the Trong family and asked, "Why does your family never quarrel? What is the secret to living in harmony?" The Trong family replied that the secret to my family's harmonious life is actually very simple. When facing a problem, everyone in my family knows how to admit their mistakes and correct them instead of always thinking they are right and blaming others. The lesson learned is that tolerance and forgiveness are the keys to opening the door to love in relationships between people. If we always know how to admit when we make mistakes and find ways to fix them, we will find a solution to every problem. Here we would like to end this story. Thanks for listening. Hello and see you again in Small Stories of Life Part 22.